Hello and welcome. In this introductory letter, I want to discuss a few things and kind of give you an idea or a framework for this course so you understand what you may expect to encounter over the next 16 weeks. The first point that's worth mentioning here is that our course operates on what's called a flipped classroom model. If you click the blue link here, you'll be taken to another site that kind of gives you a visual and textual explanation for what this is. But in general, the idea here is that rather than meet for 3 hours per week across 16 weeks or 48 contact hours, you have all the content made available to you through lectures and PowerPoints and texts, and instead we meet more infrequently but more substantially in person, or as I'll discuss later, digitally or telecommutatively, to discuss your personal writing questions. In this way, we hope to focus more on you as an individual and you as an individual who has writing concerns that may be different from or distinct from your peers' writing. So to begin, I want to briefly explain how our course is structured. The first point here, all course content is available online in our course Blackboard. What does this include? Well, what I'll call flash lectures or quick videos as the one you're watching that are shorter than, we'll say, 5 minutes in general. I have no intention of asking you to watch hour-long PowerPoints that go hand in hand with some sort of discussion of content. That's not what this course aims to do. Rather, you have smaller bite-sized ideas that I'd like you to digest and kind of take into mind and see what you can work out with. You will encounter as well PowerPoints or document how-tos that explain concepts that may be difficult or abstract at first, but that through practice, which is one of the key goals of this course, you will enhance your understanding of. Second, while all the course content is online and this course is listed as a distance learning course, you will still be required to visit the Department of English Writing Center at least 5 times throughout the semester for 30-minute sessions. You can meet either in person, that is, you can walk over to our building, Building 8, English Hall, room 2351, or you can schedule an appointment and meet through Skype or Fusebox. These are two simple, free means to communicate across the internet visually, or if you'd like, through only text chat. But it gives us the opportunity to discuss your writing in a personal, one-on-one environment. More importantly, our course begins on January 6th, that's Monday, and runs through the 25th of April, or finals week. The course is broken into 3 content modules that move from the smallest sense of diction or word choice and focusing on the smaller parts of writing, and moves to a larger sense of the sentences and how we connect sentences to the more substantial idea of documents or documents as a whole. And you'll see a pattern there. In each module, though, you're going to work at your own pace. And you have 5 weeks, essentially, to finish all the content in each module. And I'll discuss that in another video inside the syllabus introduction. What is key here for you as the student in the course is that you don't fall behind in coursework. For this reason, I provide you an ideal map of the semester's module so you can kind of understand and plan which events to accomplish in which weeks throughout. I'll point to that in another document as well. Please understand, though, that you do produce and you will submit writing assignments rather frequently. In this way, the fourth point here, our course requires students to be adept and willing communicators. This is not a course where you can just sit idly at the other end of the computer terminal and submit work at the end to be done. Rather, you need to participate even in the one-on-one environment. This is not a come to class, participate, have a conversation with everyone else in the class, and repeat throughout the semester, but it does require you to be able to pick up the keyboard, send an email, ask questions, take responsibility for your own behaviors, your own routines, and see where you can improve your approach to writing. Fifth, our course is a challenging course, and it's by no means an easy A kind of course. What does that mean? Well, I adapt what might be called a business metaphor here, and that is, if you go to work and you do your job, and you show up every day, you don't get a raise, you don't get a promotion, you get to keep your job, usually. In this way, if you participate in the course and you submit your work as needed, a C is a pretty reasonable expectation. A B and an A then require more effort, more work, just as with any occupation. To receive a promotion or a raise or anything in that way requires you to give effort to show that you are different from and better than and distinguish yourself. So this course requires you to be both motivated and disciplined. as well as to make time to complete all of your assignments on time. This is a deadlines-driven course, so please be aware of that and prepared for that. As far as my expectations for students, for our course, I expect that every student should, one, have an easy and consistent access to a reliable internet source. If you email me later after a deadline or after something is due to let me know that you weren't able to get online, it's not that I don't have sympathy for you, but it's that you can plan around and to prevent these problems or to work around these problems. Please have a backup plan in place. Two, you should have a computer that is adequate and standards compliant for accessing Blackboard and viewing all media supplied to you. For example, Microsoft Documents, Adobe PDFs, and Java materials. If you don't have a computer, I'm kind of confused how you're taking a distance learning course, but I imagine that you're not going to have this problem. Three, having a working email address that you must, I would recommend, check frequently. You can see parenthetically I write daily. Failure to respond to email is never an excuse for missed work or for deadlines. I maintain records of all my email, and I expect you to do the same. Do not expect that I received your email if you did not receive a response from me. I'm pretty consistent about giving you receipts for your emails, and I tend to respond pretty quickly. You should always have a backup plan for accessing a computer and the internet in the event of any personal catastrophe, computer catastrophe, internet outage. None of these things is a reasonable explanation for why you can't, within a 5-week module, understanding that the deadline is not until the end, complete this work. Expect that things will happen, expect that you will encounter problems, and expect to have a solution. Fifth, I expect that you should be able to log on to our course Blackboard, here I've hyperlinked for you, no later than this Friday, the 6th of January, by 10 a.m., and I want you to introduce yourself on the discussion board. I've given you a couple questions to answer, and I'd like you to just introduce yourself in that way. If you do not introduce yourself and log on by the 6th of January at 10 a.m., I must drop you from the course to let students on the wait list in. In this way, you have failed to satisfy the first day mandatory attendance policy that UNF enacts. So please be sure to contact me if you're having any problems using the discussion board, or if you think that for whatever reason you can't do that. If you have any other initial concerns or questions, please, I'm pointing you right now to review the course syllabus in Blackboard. It's under the Your Course link in the left-hand frame. Contact me if you're unable to locate any questions answered in there, and I'm happy to provide you any clarification. So otherwise, I will see you online.